Because not all the time where you sit down and you've automatically got relationships with other people. Sometimes you just be staring at the advert on the top of the train, and that's okay for that train journey. What we're talking about today in terms of mini relationships in public spaces, and especially on trains and stuff, is that people will have an emotional leverage at all times over another person, and they can teach you a thing or two if they have this emotional leverage. The second thing is privacy. There is no more privacy no more, especially in public spaces like that, where your privacy is going to get explored when you're in public spaces like on a train. The third thing that we're talking about here today is feelings that you have for another person is just something that occurs naturally, and sometimes it happens when you don't want it to happen, and that's the basic crux of what we're talking about in today's video for mini relationships. So I hope explaining how I handle it is going to help you understand how you handle it, especially if you come out of certain social interactions on the train where you feel down about it afterwards, and you feel like you want to do something better next time. If it doesn't come out right and I'm not respected in the public space, I will just get angry at the other person, right? And that is enough to sort out the situation. So that's how I used to deal with it on a London Underground. But for you, obviously you're not going to use anger, you're not going to use rage, because that's not the power that you're bringing to the social interaction. So you got to focus on what emotional leverage do you have. Mine is anger, and what are you how are you going to use that to have a positive social interaction where both people come out happy, having sat next to each other. So the first thing is, sometimes you just have feelings for somebody. They have feelings for you, and if you have feelings for her, then it doesn't matter. You just have feelings for her. The second thing is, they might have an opinion of you. And sometimes, basically, you need to create an opinion of the other person, because either they need you to create the opinion, or it just happens that you need to create an opinion of the other person for you to feel safer within yourself. You just need to have that opinion to feel safe on the train. You know, who is this guy? Who is this girl? And you have an opinion of that person, which automatically just happens. So opinions happen when it makes you feel safer, or it makes the other person safer as well if you have that opinion of them. So that's the second reason. So the feelings is the first reason, opinions is the second reason. The third reason might be that they might be saying, oh, check who is in town, you know. They might be excited that you're in town, and they might want to surround you with their group of friends, or a mix of people that they can get along to meet you as well. Sometimes it's just an eye contact thing that people have, and they can get girls surrounding you all of a sudden. So sometimes it might be that, oh, you're in town, and they want to just check you out, basically. So if you're really lucky, you'll have loads of girls surrounding you at the same time. So that's the third reason that there might be a mini relationship on a train. Then the fourth thing is, sometimes you might be a player, but you don't know it, right? A player is somebody who just sits there, breathes air, and the woman on the other side turns into a woman. You know, she turns into an actual woman by you just sitting there and breathing. She turns into an actual woman. And so this is a good quality to have, a really good quality to have, you know, just to sit there and you'll be just focusing on what you got to do your day and just breathing, and she just becomes a woman all of a sudden, and she's trying to seduce you at the same time. So yeah, that's a good quality to have, but it's not the best quality to have. Being a player isn't the best quality to have, because there are other qualities, like you can walk into a room and you can alpha male other men off. You just walk in and then you alpha male this one off, alpha male this one off, and show that you're the main man in the room and that you're in charge here, and that anything that happens in here or in the surroundings is up to you to handle. You know, so you might be alpha mailing people off like that, and that's a better characteristic to have than becoming a player. So that's another second characteristic. A third characteristic I want to just throw in there as well is some people game over people. You know, they just find different, basically, bad points about you that are not correct with how you're playing out your life. And because you're not playing out your life properly, they will game over you. You know, especially if you're wandering out and about, and it shows that you're just wandering out and about and you don't know where you're going in life, and you're kind of lost at the same time. They can come in and game over you. You know, and there are certain people out there that are really good at that kind of thing. They just kind of spot this kind of thing about you, and then they come in and they'll be like, "What are you doing here? What for? What does that mean then?" And they will game over you at the same time. So there's game over people, there's the players, and then there's the people that alpha male other people off. So those are three kind of qualities that I can just think up right now that basically show you that you have a quality about you, that when you have a mini relationship on a train like that, you basically use that emotional leverage that you have to show people that what do you show people? You show people that you have emotional leverage, basically.